You cannot, in most circles today, argue for an objective reality. Increasingly, listen, not even in science. Everything has become fair game in this postmodern world, and the bedrock foundations are crumbling. Math, I would suggest, is the last bastion of objective reality. And it's quickly becoming assailed. And it too is threatening to lose truth. You know this, some of you are teachers, and you know this. 2 plus 2 equals 4. But that's under attack. And so now in many elementary classrooms, 2 plus 2 equals 3 is an acceptable answer. It's kind of posited like, well, this is how we find out the truth. 2 plus 2 equals 4, or 2 plus 2 equals 3. You decide. Basic to all understanding is this law. It's called the law of non-contradiction. It simply means this. The law of non-contradiction means that a thing cannot be B and non-B at the same time and in the same relation. Or said another way, a thing cannot be true and not true at the same time. It's the fundamental law of all logic and reason. And that, my friends, is where we are today. A rejection of objective truth, of absolutes that demand a primary cause and a universal author, and embrace instead, in its place, a relativistic, have-it-your-own-way truth, which I'm telling you is not truth. And that's why we live in a post-truth society. It is because we have rejected God. We have rejected a moral absolute. We have lost our bearings. And I think the church is largely to blame. You see, we teach and we practice, very common, listen to me, that a person can be a Christian and not a Christian at the same time. Jesus says, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. If A, then B. But we say, I love Jesus even as I ignore His commandments. And when you say that, do you understand what you're saying? You're saying, if A, then non-B. And I don't think we've stopped to realize the violation of thought that is. The violation of logic that is. We haven't stopped as a church to acknowledge that such a notion is mere folly. And I'm just telling you, Christianity that embraces you can be Christian and non-Christian at the same time entirely rewrites what Christianity is, and it's a lie. And I'm telling you, the world's not doing that, the church is doing that. We reject orthodoxy. We reject any standard of doctrine by which Christianity can clearly be defined. And we embrace instead a neo-orthodoxy, a more generous orthodoxy. And what we fail to see in Christian circles is that the truth gets lost in that. And we're left with nothing. Well, very practically, I'm talking about how is it that we're supposed to think about the ordinary matters of life and death. We will face the questions of life and death, but we have to face them with truth. We need to understand degrees of certainty. And we must always insist you cannot have B and non-B at the same time.